Welcome to today's Explainer. We're jumping right in today because we are talking about the actual, literal mechanics of human consciousness and get this, how it might be systematically altered. We're zeroing in on something called the gateway experience. Now, this is a highly structured audio technology that's designed to push the human mind way beyond our standard physical reality. And no, this isn't science fiction. It's rooted in documented research and measurable brainwave activity. It gives us a framework to completely reevaluate what human beings are actually capable of.
Okay, let's dive into this. Can we actually escape time and space? I mean, it sounds like an impossible premise, right? Totally out there. But the source material we're digging into today suggests that we, humanity, might already possess the biological and neurological hardware to break free from our physical restrictions. And the ultimate goal of doing that? To access a vast, universal reservoir of intuitive knowledge. So let's look at exactly how this system claims to unlock that incredible door. Section 1. The Gateway Experience Foundational Mechanics. So to really wrap our heads around this, we have to start with a definition. The Gateway Experience is fundamentally a training system. It's designed specifically to bring enhanced strength, focus, and coherence to the amplitude and frequency of brainwave output between the left and right hemispheres. Now, think about that for a second. This isn't just some mystical theory. This is a highly targeted biological mechanism. It's literally about taking the electrical output of your brain, your actual measurable brain waves, and forcing the left and right hemispheres to operate in perfect harmony. Usually, the two sides function kind of asynchronously, right? But this system aims to unify them completely. And these foundational mechanics build directly into the ultimate purpose of the program. Just look at these objectives. We start with the physical, right? Enhancing brainwave strength, focus, and coherence. But look at where it leads. By achieving that coherence, the goal is to dramatically alter human consciousness. And from there, it expands to literally moving consciousness outside the physical sphere, escaping the restrictions of time and space, and finally, accessing the universe's intuitive knowledge. I mean, that is a massive leap. We're going from simple brainwave synchronization to literally unlocking the secrets of the universe, all through a structured training regimen. Section 2. Unpacking Hemisync, Neurological Mechanisms.
Now, what's really interesting about this is what separates the gateway experience from traditional meditation. It comes down to a highly precise scientific technique known as hemisync. Melissa Jogger, a Monroe Institute trainer, defines it perfectly. She says it's a state of consciousness defined when the EEG patterns of both hemispheres are simultaneously equal in amplitude and frequency. You can literally hook someone up to an EEG and measure this. It's a state where the two sides of your brain stop operating independently and just lock in. They are perfectly synced in how loud the signal is, which is the amplitude, and how fast it's vibrating, which is the frequency.
Section 3. Zen Meditation vs. Audio Tapes, Achieving Hemisync. 20. Yup, 20. You see, left to our own devices, our brains rarely achieve this hemisync state naturally, and definitely not for very long. But you can train your mind to do it. Elmer and Alice Green at the Menninger Foundation actually studied this, and they found that for their test subject to consistently establish this hemisync state at will and sustain it for just over 15 minutes, it required 20 years of rigorous training in Zen meditation. 20 years, 2 decades of intense, dedicated discipline just to hold that synchronized brain state for 15 minutes. Talk about a serious time commitment. Now, compare that traditional route, 20 years of Zen meditation from that Menninger Foundation study, to a technological intervention, Bob Monroe's audio tapes. Melissa Jagger noted that using the Institute's basic Focus 3 audio tapes can induce and sustain that exact same hemisync state. It's honestly a jarring juxtaposition. On one hand, you have 2 decades of sitting in silent, dedicated practice. On the other hand, simply pressing play, putting on a pair of headphones, and letting specially designed audio tapes guide your brainwaves into perfect symmetrical alignment. Section 4. Measuring Brain Energy, the Hard Science. To give this some real authoritative weight, let's turn to Dr. Stuart Iwemlo. He's a psychiatrist and a research associate of the Monroe Institute, and he specifically studied what the Monroe tape system does to the human brain. His findings? Well, they were crystal clear. He stated, "In our studies of the effect of the Monroe tape system on brainwaves, we have found that the tapes encourage the focusing of brain energy." So these tapes aren't just giving you some nice, relaxing background noise. They are actively marshaling the electrical output of your brain and concentrating it. And this brilliantly illustrates the real-world physics at play here.
Dr. Wemlow explains that this focusing of brain energy can literally be measured, almost exactly like how you'd measure the energy of a light bulb. It's completely objective and quantifiable. Researchers observed that as individuals progress beyond those introductory focus 3 levels, their brainwave size actually changes. And here's the kicker. In this context, brainwave size is a direct measure of brain energy or brain power. So the audio tapes are basically acting like a gym workout for your mind's electrical output, expanding its capacity and power. Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. The gateway experience, HemiSync, and all the hard science behind it strongly suggests that the limitations of our physical minds might just be a matter of getting our brainwaves aligned. So I'll leave you with this. If you had the technology to perfectly sync your brain hemispheres, if you could literally just press play on an audio tape and tap into the universe's intuitive knowledge, what would you do with that kind of power? Thanks so much for watching, and keep questioning.